So we got the news finally. Paul got the job, the promotion in California. I cannot believe it. We're moving to Palo Alto. I cannot believe it. I got to tell you, even though I've born and raised and lived in Chicago my whole life, the idea of going to sunny California and finishing my kids' high school out there is nothing short of wonderful. The weather here has been tough. California, awesome, and I'm so proud of Paul. We sat down and told the kids tonight. I've got a 17-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl. A little nervous, but Paul and I talked it through. Once we got our son off the phone so he would pay attention to us, things started rolling along. It seemed to be really good. Our daughter was a little quiet, which is interesting. She didn't seem to be upset, but she didn't seem to be excited. We said to her, honey, what do you think? And she stood up and said, thank you for ruining my life. I'm not going. And went downstairs and proceeded to slam the door. I said, okay, well, that went well. And Paul's like, you know what, we got to get through that. But I got to tell you something else too, honey. I didn't really mention this before, but I've got to be gone in 2 weeks. I need to be there and working in California. So I'm going to be living in temp lodging, and I'm going to need you to help deal with the details back here. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, he travels a lot. I'm used to this. I can do this. I've been a soccer mom. I'm disciplined. I'm calendared. I'm organized. I can do this. I got it, Paul. You know what? As long as you and I stay in touch together, we're going to be really good. Okay, well, we've been married 20 years, and staying in touch is maybe twice a day on a text. So that was a little bit aggressive on our part, but we'll see what happens. So I'm having the realtors come out to the house, and I didn't know which one to pick. And Paul says to me, oh, honey, I trust your judgment. Either one is fine. So the realtor comes over, and she says to me as she's walking around the house, oh, there are going to be some things that need to be done here for this to be appealing to buyers. Well, I don't even know what that means, because I'm really proud of this wall I had done by a local artist. It is beautiful. I mean, I spent $5,000 on this for the home. And you know what she says to me? Yeah, we're going to have to paint that. Most buyers won't like that. Okay, crushed me right there. So right now I've got this stranger in my house who wants to tell me what it's worth, and 5 minutes into the deal, she's already crushed my soul. Then she goes on and proceeds to tell me that I'm going to have to take everything personal down, including all pictures. Well, my father passed away 2 years ago, and I keep his picture next to my nightstand. I am not taking that picture down. The second realtor came. It wasn't much better. Maybe I was just ready for it this time, because nobody told me that they're probably going to offend me, because they're going to tell me that my house isn't listing ready. And basically they're saying, get rid of all your knickknacks. And they went down to my daughter's room and they said, everything needs to be removed off the wall. Well, she's 15 years old. So we see things from school and pictures and awards and everything. I mean, my son, no big deal. A couple Halo posters, I'll put them under the bed. I get it. But my daughter, this is her life. And so I'm going to have to talk to her about this. And I'm also going to have to talk to my mother, because I am leaving her. And I feel badly about that. And I hadn't really thought about that as we were moving into this process. I was so excited for Paul and this job opportunity. And it's like all of a sudden the wave has hit me. Okay, the details are easy. But what about leaving my mom? And then the realtors are calling saying, hey, we've got a price for you that we want to list your house at. And they're telling me, and it's not quite what I thought it was going to be, because I know my neighbor down the street sold her house for much more than that. And I'll tell you what, I've been in that house and I wouldn't even eat at her kitchen table. And so I'm sitting there calling Paul, and I said, Paul, this is what she wants to list it. And he says, honey, if we want to sell it, this is the market. This is what we got to do. I think you're taking it too personal. Did my husband just tell me I was being too personal? Okay, honey, I got it. We'll text from now on. I understand. So I picked the realtor. The one with the nicer car is all I picked, because I didn't really know how to tell them apart anyway. And she tells me, hey, by the way, we've got 3 days until the open house. And I'm thinking, okay, what does that mean for me? And she says, so I need you to put everything away. You need to get in that kid's room, and you need to clean that up. And by the way, you're going to have to get rid of the dog and the cat during the open houses and any showings. Okay, I've got an 8-year-old golden doodle and I don't even know how old cat, and she wants me to get rid of them. What did I do? Nobody told me that I was going to have to do this. If I tell my daughter that I'm about to take away her dog and cat and put them in a kennel while we're going through this process, I don't know what's going to happen, because it's been 2 weeks and she is still not talking to me. I went down to her room last night, I rapped on the door and I said, honey, we have to talk. This is happening. We are moving. And she said, I still hate you. And by the way, so does Grandma. Because you're leaving. And she shut the door. And I fell to the ground. It hurt. I know I'm going through this process, and maybe I'm making it all about paperwork and the next task, and I'm forgetting what I'm doing to my family during this process. And I know Paul cares, but I got to tell you, with the time zone difference and his new job, he's barely here for me. In fact, he told me the other day that he only gets one home visit. before we move. The weekend of moving, when we're packing and loading, the household good will be here. I think I'll do a girls' weekend. I got to get out of this house. I don't know what I'm going to do. So we had the open house. It was the day of the open house. I felt really prepared. And I don't know what it is, but I feel like I have to impress my agent. Like every time she comes into the house, she's just inspecting my work. And it makes me really uneasy because I'm a really good person and I actually keep a clean house and my toilets are clean. But she comes into the house and not 10 minutes before she got there, guess what happened? The dog threw up all over the front entryway. So I'm down there with my little green machine trying to clean it up before she gets in. She says and looks at me and goes, ooh, this is going to be a problem. And I think to myself, I know. What do I do? And she said, remove the rug. Okay, that didn't feel good. So I'm out hauling this rug into the garage and hoping nobody's going to notice it in there. And I feel like I've got a sunspot foyer now. And then she says, now it's time for you to leave. So I pack up the kids and I pack up the dog and I pack up the cat and we leave for a couple hours. This goes on day after day. I get 10-minute notice that somebody's coming to see the house. And I'm yelling at my kids, I am not a nice mom right now because all I'm saying is clean your room, put away your blow dryer, don't forget to put away your clothes, don't leave anything out. In fact, just don't even be here anymore because we have to keep the house spotless. And turn that light on, turn that one off, start the fireplace and do this. I am a disaster, but I'm trying to get through it. But good news came today. We got an offer. Oh, finally, no more showings. I'm so excited. The buyers seem really nice. I think they actually liked the house. They made me feel good until I got the inspection report today. And I'll tell you what, you would think that I lived in a dump. There's got to be at least 100 items on this thing that I'm supposed to fix. I mean, they treat me like I haven't even taken care of my house all these years. In fact, even looking at the stairwell going downstairs, the railing, they're saying that the posts are too far apart and a baby's head might fit through it. Really? I can't even fit my fist. I can't do this anymore. So I called Paul and said, guess what? I'm sending you over the inspection report. You tell me what you need to do. And then I called the realtor after Paul and I decided what we were going to do. And I said, hey, do you have somebody who can do this for me? You know my husband's out of town. He really is the handy person. I don't have time. What do you mean you won't make a recommendation to me? I'm a maintenance person. Come on, you've been in business for 15 years. And she says, no, I can't. It's a liability thing. What? Well, I can give you some names and you have to call them yourself. Thank you. Thank you for making my job harder. Click is all I'm thinking. So I got everything done and we're working through and I think the inspections, it looks like the house is going to sell and everything's going to close. But now all of a sudden I've got the closing company calling me and the title company calling me and the mortgage company calling me and my agent still calling me and the household good company calling me and they're telling me all these things I have to do. In fact, sometimes I think they call just to tell me they're going to be calling me. And some of them email and some of them call and some of them text and some of them I think fax something to somewhere because I don't have a fax machine or a scanning machine right now, so I don't know where this paperwork is going, but all I know is I'm in a paperwork tornado, and I don't know what to do with myself, and I swear every person I work with's name is Julie. And I don't know how to keep my Julie straight at this point. And I don't know if I'm sending the wrong paperwork here or there. I called Paul last night, and I just started sobbing. And he said to me, honey, you're doing the best you can. Well, why do I feel support? I need a support system. I don't feel supported. And then I spent the night last night at book club saying goodbye to my friends. And I've spent a lot of the last 2 weeks sitting with my mother. And I know I'm not returning phone calls to all the people in the process at the time they want me to. They say, you need to return this call within an hour. Well, you know what? I want to say goodbye to my mother for the next hour. Is that okay? I know you need this paperwork signed, but I have friends here. I am letting go of an entire life. This is all I know. And I'm moving out to California, and the agent there is telling me that I've got to pick my house online because the market is so hot that people are doing 14 offers in a day. So I'm looking at pictures, and I know what those pictures look like because I saw my pictures online. And I'm trying to find a house that I'm about to pay double the price for in an area that I don't even know. And it's all about picking the schools for my kids. And I'm trying to do the best I can. And Paul is being supportive. And he promised he would go look at the houses for me. But sometimes I worry that Paul's not going to look for the things that I'm going to look for. But I showed the pictures to the kids last night. And for the first time, my daughter got excited. There's something about it. She went online, looked at the schools. And she actually said, Mom, I think this might be a good thing. I don't know what a relief that was. Yeah, I did all the paperwork last night at 11:30. I don't know how I'm going to get it to them. I'm going to have to go down to the local FedEx store and take care of it because I don't have anything that I need. I might have screwed up. I'm doing the best I can. It's funny, I don't feel like anybody's really taking care of me. I mean, I've got all these people who are doing part of the process, and they're really helpful as individuals, but collectively, nobody is helping me get through this. And it's been the hardest 30 days of my life. But we're going to get there. I can't forget the big prize. Yeah, I'm going to miss my mom, but I think someday she might move out there. I'm going to miss my best friend. She's been my advocate through this whole thing, which is kind of sad because she's not an expert in inspections or appraisals or mortgages. But she sat next to me at the kitchen table when I needed help filling out the paperwork. But we're moving now. Stuff's loading on the truck. My kids have had great friends and great parties with their friends. And I know we're about to start a new chapter. And it's the greatest thing I could ever wish for.